The Finance Ministry is likely to keep its distance from the payout imbroglio. ET Now Supriya Srinath joins us with exclusive details. What is the latest that you're hearing on this, Supriya?
It is ironical that we're talking about this story, especially at a time when the investors of NSEL are actually meeting the Department of Economic Affairs Secretary Arvind Mairam. But we've been given to understand by top sources in the Ministry of Finance that the government will perhaps wash its hands off this NSEL mess. The government is very certain it does not want to bail out NSEL with taxpayers' money. In fact, top sources in the Department of Economic Affairs and the Ministry of Finance do assert that NSEL is best let to survive as it is right now, and the best legal and the best course of action for investors is litigation, is legal recourse, because Ministry of Finance sources assert that NSEL perhaps doesn't have enough assets to liquidate and to pay up. We've been given to understand again by highly placed sources that exempting NSEL between 2007 to 2008 from any regulatory oversight was a big mistake, and perhaps India is paying a price for it now. But the Ministry of Finance does not want to get its hands dirty with this mess as things stand. They want FMC to be under the oversight of SEBI, and only then do they want to intervene. But they are very certain they are not going to bail out NSEL. There's not likely to be a board takeover as is being talked about. It is perhaps going to be a matter that will be probed by two independent committees that will be set up by the Department of Economic Affairs. But the Finance Ministry is unlikely to get its hands dirty, or is unlikely to take over the mess of NSEL, at least at this stage.
There was talk about some days back about the probe under PMLA, Supriya. What happens there then?
No, I think the probe will continue, and which is what we've been given to understand by sources in Finance Ministry, that the Department of Economic Affairs will only set up committees. These committees will report to the Department of Economic Affairs, and one of those committees could be headed by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, if the Enforcement Directorate heads a committee, that essentially means it is to look into FEMA or PMLA violations. So that story stands true, the story that we put out at ET Now, that there will perhaps be a PMLA violation. Remember, complaints about NSEL had come a year in advance to the Consumer Affairs Ministry. The Ministry did not act on it, and perhaps that's the price that stakeholders are now paying now. And the Finance Ministry is very certain that for a mistake that was done by one department, or a mistake that was committed by a greed of investors, they are not going to get their hands dirty. In fact, they believe that the same investors who are making a lot of noise right now were the same bunch of people who opposed stringent monitoring, stringent regulation when there was a suggestion that FMC should actually be made a part of SEBI many years back.